Come on in. I am Miss Sam. I am the owner and administrator of Taylor Active Learning, Yale Dim Academy. We serve children 6 weeks to 13 years of age. We are a nurturing, caring, and clean early learning and care facility. And as you can see from the title, Good Morning goes a long way, which is the truth. And so, if you are looking for a child care center for your little one in the area, we're on the west side of Cleveland. And that title means so much. So, one of the key components of what we do here is we allow children to know that they are important and that they have feelings and that what they feel need inside we need to know. And why do we need to know as adults? Because that allows us to gauge on how to interact with them in that moment and how to move forward with them if they are just not having a good day. Now, can little children not have good days? Yes. They can absolutely not have a good day. Why? Because they're human. Just like you and I as adults cannot have a good day, people who are 6 weeks to 13 years of age can also not have a good day. And why is that important? That is important because every day you wake up, you are not going to be happy. Again, every day you wake up, you are not going to be happy. And so, because every day you're not going to be happy, you have to know that any feeling that you have inside is a valid feeling. And it starts in that there's someone there to help navigate you through the process of this feeling. So when I walk through the door every morning, when my employee walks through the door every morning, we greet everyone with good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Every child gets acknowledged with a good morning. And we've done it so consistently that regardless of the children who are here and the ones who have come and gone, they come running to us smiling, saying good morning too, and they give us a hug. So when they're young, you hug. When my kids were older, like when I had high school students, I wasn't hugging anybody. It's just they're high schoolers. I need you to know that your personal space is important, and I do not have the right to interfere with your personal space. I am very big on that with high school students, but little kids, they need to feel love. They've only been here 6 weeks to 13 years of age. And so they need to know that what they say, hello, everybody, hello, hello, hello. What they need to know that you're consistent. And that consistency is walking into the room. Actually, it's not even walking into the room, it's walking through the door and saying, good morning. Or when you see them, when you walk through the main door and you walk to the room that they are located in, good morning. And when it's a first interaction with a kid that you've never interacted with, you bend down, you look them in their eye, you say good morning, just like this. Good morning. How are you today? You say all of that. You say good morning. You ask them how they're doing today, and you wait for their response. If they smile, that means they're doing well today. If they don't smile, then it typically means something's wrong when you smile at a kid. So if they don't smile back at you, then you say, "What's wrong? What's going on? You're not having a good day?" The infants will not respond. As they get older, from starting about 2.5, almost 3, they should start responding because you've been doing this consistently every day. Every employee I have, they have to say good morning. If they don't say good morning, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, you're not going to work out here. Because why can you not say good morning to someone who's 2 when you walk through the door? Why are you upset when someone who's 3 walks through the door? They didn't sleep with you last night. They didn't do anything to you. They're 3. And typically the children let me know really early. There was a situation here with an employee, and this employee and this kid, this 3-year-old, I'm not even gonna lie, 2-year-old at the time, they did not get along. Like, every day, all I heard was this little girl crying. Now, we have cameras. So, and I tell people our cameras work. If for some reason I go to the camera and it don't work, you will see the electrician here. They come out instantly. But our cameras work. So I kept looking at the cameras. This adult who was the teacher at the time was not hitting the child. They weren't pushing the child. It's just this child did not like this adult. And it was to the point that this adult was asking other adults how to manage this child's behavior. I even stepped in and said, "Well, have you worked with kids before with challenging behaviors?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, sure, sure, sure." Well, guess what? That person not here no more. And clearly that was a sign that they had never worked consistently with children with challenging behaviors. And since they had not worked with children with challenging behaviors, that let me know that they're not an effective teacher. An effective teacher knows how to work with everyone. But I can recall this child's parent telling me when this adult went to the door to answer the door to greet this child in the morning, they were like, "Good morning." Like, what you upset that the kid coming through the door for? I wouldn't want to come through the door either if you was looking at me, you gonna huff and puff because I didn't came this morning. Like, that's not how you treat children. I don't care what kid it is. I don't care if it's a kid with behavior that's extremely like you just it's just extreme behavior for a child, which this relationship between this adult and this child was consistently like that. But that don't mean you get up. I mean, you give up. That don't mean that you stop being a genuine person, a person who says that they love and they care for children. You keep trying every day. You compliment the child on the things that they do right. Even if the behavior is not up to your standard, there is something everybody on this face of this earth is going to do that makes you smile. There is something that is going to put a smile on your face, put a smile on their face. It could be simply, "You look beautiful today. I like your hair. Who did your hair? Wow, look at your shoes. Your shoes are so pretty. Who bought those for you?" Give a compliment. How hard? You will not believe how hard it is for people to compliment. I've had students who have gotten on my last nerve. I mean, every day I walk through the classroom. But guess what? I could still talk about the things that I saw in that kid that made me think like, wow, you know, that's a trait you have that is admirable, right? But I'm different. I like children. Like, I like all kids. If a kid frown at me and they ain't feeling me, I'd be like, "Okay, no problem. You ain't feeling me today." That's right. You have to compliment people. Give them a compliment. I had a student, and this student, oh, they did everything underneath. This is high school. They did everything to get me. But you want to know what? I never stopped inviting them to things that we did. I never said that they couldn't go on a field trip. I never said that they couldn't go with me anywhere, because one thing I believe, you may not like me, but there may be somebody that I'm interacting with that's good for the class that can transform your life, that can allow you to see me in a different light, right? And this student, they didn't like me, but guess what? They were a good friend. And when one day in class, I remember saying, I can go around this room and say something good about everybody in the room. And when I got to that student, I said, "You know what I like about you? I like that you're a good friend. I like that everybody considers you a friend in this classroom." And they looked at me and they said, "Wow, you really think that way about me?" I said, "Yeah. Being a friend and being friendly and people thinking highly of you, that's very rare. That everybody in this class, they like and they enjoy being around you. But I'm really bad with you. Like, I give you all kinds of problems. I know you do. And I know you do it on purpose now that you said you give me all kind of problems, but you still are a good friend to all of these people in here." And from that moment forward, when I made that compliment, the behavior improved. It did. It didn't improve dramatically instantly, but the behavior improved slowly but surely. And it got to a point where I could just give a look and they'd be like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop." Right? But that meant a lot. A compliment goes a long way, and an earnest compliment, not just you just complimenting somebody just to say something. No, what you say, you mean it. Like, I have a child. My child will tell you everything you want to hear. I'm the only person, my child will gas me up. My child will get on this live, find that I'm live, and just be in the comments talking the whole time. Oh, you right. Oh, you look so pretty. Oh, da 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 da, like just gassing me up. Where I would think like this is completely a stranger, but the truth is, it's my kid on the other end. It ain't even nobody that I don't know to make me think like, oh, I'm really talking to the world, right? But that some people love that. Some people think like, oh my goodness, yeah, they a people person. Like somebody told me yesterday about my kid. Oh, that's the one I like right there. I was like, no, that's not the one. That's their twin. That is the completely different one. Oh, it is like, yes, this is their twin. And I can't believe you like this person because they definitely would tell you everything you want. You would be beaming from ear to ear. Oh, they told me blah, blah, blah. And they told me blah, blah. I'm like, yes, and some of it is true, but some of it I'd be like, no, that's just a lie. But a good morning goes a long way. And that good morning that I give every day to every employee, every child, leaves the most lasting impression. I've always given good mornings, even when I was a high school teacher, even when I was an elementary school teacher. I would go in my classroom, no matter how it went. Good morning. I would greet each person as they walked through the door. I never stood at the door. I do not like standing at the door. Don't ask me why. I just feel like there's so many other things that I could be doing to get started with my day because I got 50 million things on my mind that standing at my door is a waste of time. But when you walk through that door, whatever I'm doing, I will look up and I will acknowledge you and I will say good morning. And to be truthful, I never got any flack from a principal because my relationships with my students were so top tier. And when I say top tier, I mean top tier. Like I would have students who would go into other classes and other students wouldn't have me, and teachers let students just do whatever they want, right? They like most teachers don't interject and say, "Hey, we're not talking about another teacher in this class." Or better yet, they're going to tell students they're not going to tell students, "We're not talking about that student in this class. This person is not here to defend themselves, and as a result, we're not talking like that." I am that person. You're not coming in my class. You're not going to badmouth Shamika, and Shamika's not present. I don't know Shamika. Shamika ain't here. Shamika can't defend herself. We're not talking about her. She's nowhere to be seen. So because she's nowhere to be seen, I'm not from that school. I'm not from the school we talk behind people's back. You got something to say about somebody, you say it to their face, good or bad. So because I know that, I know teachers allow students to talk. My students, they'll go into a classroom, somebody will say something bad about me. Oh, they ready to fight you. Like I'm their blood because they know how I treat them. They know how I make them feel. I'm not trying to buy your friendship so you could do well on the state test. I'm trying to get you to truly learn so that you can accomplish a skill in your life that makes you happy and that makes you proud. That's the same thing I'm doing here at this center. That's the same thing my employee is doing here at the center. And then my future employees will do. They will make your child know that they're important, that they are loved and valued. And yes, you can be loved and valued by a stranger. Every morning, and when if I miss a morning and I say good morning because something is on my mind, I go back and I tell the student, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Or I'll tell my employee, I'm so sorry. I have something else on my mind, but good morning. How are you today? Give me a hug. Like, I'm so glad to see you. Did you have a good evening? Yeah, hello. Hello, Tamir John. Hello, hello, hello. So, like, did you have a good morning? How's your day going? I'm so happy to see you. What was for dinner? Consistently, day after day after day. That's what you should be looking for when you take your child to a child care center. Are they greeted? Don't even care about if you greeted because guess what? If your kid is greeted first, that's who they serve. You're just the byproduct as the parent. If they greet your child and don't greet you, you should still be happy. But as because you are the child's parent, they automatically should greet you after they greet the child. You should feel when you walk into any center, you should know the difference between a cry from your child because they just woke up and they irritable and they don't feel like being bothered versus a cry from your child when they don't want to be there because somebody don't like them. There are two different cries. If I ask the kid in the morning, if the kid come through the door crying, right? And this kid is normally happy, I'm like, what's wrong? How are you doing? Like, what's going on? And the mom will explain, or the dad will explain. Well, they just woke up, they tired, they've been irritable all morning. They was crying when they got up, when I put them in the car. They was crying when I took them out, you know? And with that good morning, let's know there's a certain way that we should eat in the morning. And it's not M&Ms, candy covered chocolates. It's not candy covered chocolates. I got one parent that want to bring her kid into school with candy covered chocolate. No, we should not be eating candy covered chocolates at 7:53 in the morning. That's not something that we should be giving our kids. And that's not bait and switch to get them into school because they was already mad at you. And so now here you are giving them candy colored chocolates to come into the school. And here I am trying to say good morning. And guess what? I'm going to take it from them because I don't need a kid eating a whole bunch of sugar when I'm trying to get them organic foods and whole grains and things of that nature to give them energy and stamina to endure for the day, because they got to endure until nap time, and nap time start at 1. So if you drop them off at 7, they got a lot they got to go through, and playing with different people with different personalities. Some of them can communicate, some of them can't communicate, some of them are biting because from 2 to 3, that's the biting stage. Why do kids bite? They bite because they cannot communicate. They do not know how to use the words. They do not know, I do not like that. Why do they not know that? Because that is not taught at home. So as a center, we have to teach a kid, say, I do not like that. And we have to practice that. So when someone does something that they do not like, that they do not deem to be friendly, they have to be able to say those words. Because if a kid cannot say that, if they cannot say no, if they cannot say stop, if they cannot say I'm playing with this toy, they are going to bite the kid because of the lack of communication skills. If they don't bite, they're going to cry. If they're frustrated, they're typically are going to bite. And there is tons of academic research out there that supports that why children bite. Children should not be biting at 4 and 5 years old. If they biting at 4 and 5, they are not using their communication skills. And so that good morning, even saying good morning to their classmates is so important because we're teaching communication skills, asking them about their evening. How was your evening? What did you eat for dinner? And even if you cannot understand the kid, you sit there and you listen. I've had so many autistic children come through. And when they start talking, I ask the same questions. Good morning. How are you today? And if they start saying something I don't understand, I look at them and smile and say, oh, okay. Now, I don't know what they just said, but eventually, because I'm practicing every day I see the child, I'm going to understand what they're saying. Just like every other parent is going to understand what their kid is saying. I have a kid here. Some of the words I understand what the kid is saying, and they're not autistic. And some of the words I don't understand. And we're going to repeat these words until I, Miss Sam, can understand everything you saying. Because I want to know what you're saying. I think talking to you as a child is very important because I'm helping you develop communication skills. I'm helping you tell me what you like and what you don't like. I'm helping you in discovering, you know, to expound on topics. I can now ask you open-ended questions. Open-ended questions require a child to give you a long explanation. It is not closed-ended where you only can answer yes or no. How was your evening is open-ended. Did you have a good evening? Is either yes or no. How was your evening? You can't say yes. You can't say no to that question. You can only say, my evening went well. We da 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 and da 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 da, whatever it was, and the kid will tell you, and then it gets to the point where you've asked them so many times about their feelings, you've had other conversations that relate to feelings, that the kid will begin to say, I got one kid that tells me, my dad was mad at me. Your dad was mad at you? Why? What did you do? And this happens during hand washing, typically. We're helping the kids, personal hygiene, wash their hands, and then a conversation comes up. Why? Because I consistently talk to the child. And it all starts because of that good morning. That good morning. That good morning starts every conversation. Every future conversation is started by that one simple conversation I have with the kid every morning. It improves their confidence, it improves their communication skills. It also helps them with personal hygiene. You know, as they get older, are you doing what step? Do your hands look like this? So we have the chart for the hand washing. So first you turn on the faucet, you wet your hands, you put soap on your hands, you lather your hands. And lathering your hands means that you have bubbles all over your hands. So typically between I'm gonna say 18 months to 2.5, the kids are like, look at the bubbles down the sink. But if we don't have bubbles going down the sink or a lot of bubbles, that means one, they didn't put a lot of soap on their hands, and two, they didn't lather their hands. Or three, they didn't put water, soap, or lather their hands. And here you got to wash your hands. That's why my hands look so ashy, because I am constantly washing my hands. Constantly, 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 constantly. Why? Because I don't like germs. I don't want to get sick. It's already prevalent that little kids carry germs and all this other stuff. And I don't want to get sick. And because I don't want the kids to get sick, we got to wash our hands. We got to wash our hands. We got to wash bottles with soap and water, bleaching water, and rinse it out real good and wash it with water again and do it all over again until it's all nice and clean and germ free. You know, we have to keep bleach on hand because our state laws require that we only have, and yeah, this was something I learned too. And I was like, oh, how do you know it's really clean? We can only use a half a cap. So the cap that comes on the bleach, we can only use a half a cap of that in a bottle full of water. I was like, that ain't clean. And the the sanitation worker from the health department was like, yes, it meets our requirement. Well, how you know that? Because I was making it where I was wearing nice clothes to the center, and my clothes were getting ruined because I had too much bleach in it. And they were like, that's how we know it's too much bleach, because when you pour it, so now I may use a little bit more than a half a cap. And when I pour the bleach, I put the bleach and water on the table or on the changing station, my paper towels turn pink when I got a little bit too much bleach in there. But just a little slight light pink. But still, we can only use a half a cap of bleach and our water bottles. And I make it known. I mean, I don't want to get written up again by the health department because we got too much bleach in the water. Never heard of such a foolish thing in my life. You would think that if I had too much bleach in the water, they would be okay with that. But clearly, they're not okay with that. If you do not know me, I am Miss Sam. I am the owner of Taylor Active Learning, Yale Dim Academy. We are a early learning and care facility. We serve children 6 weeks to 13 years of age. We are located on the west side of Cleveland. And you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe to this channel. You need to like this video. I am going live every day at 6 p.m. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going live on this channel at 6 p.m. every day. I may be a few minutes late, but I will be on at 6 p.m. So I thank you for coming on and listening to me. But a good morning. Just don't forget, even as an adult, don't forget a good morning goes a long way. It goes a long way. It goes a long way at your job. Guess what? Even that grouchy person that you say good morning to, sooner or later, they're going to say good morning back. I worked with somebody. I can't remember who it was. And every day they came through the door. Good morning, good morning. I'm like, dang, what they so happy about? Clearly, I was mean and miserable inside. Because it's so amazing how times have changed. And that's the first thing I say always to little kids, because I was taught the right thing. I was taught by my mom and dad. When you enter a room, you say good morning. You entered the room. They didn't enter the room. They was already there before you got there. And that's the same skills I try to teach the children and my children. Good morning. I say good morning to my own kids. Like, these are my children. You and most people say my children are friendly. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. A kid shouldn't be angry and miserable like, dang, what's wrong with you? You a kid. You don't have no bills, no responsibilities. Why you angry? And if you angry, that to me, that means something going on in your house. And that's the truth. And most kids who are angry, if you really dive deep into who they are, they got a whole bunch of garbage going on in their house. And we typically do not serve children like that. Um, yeah, I can honestly say that. We don't serve we do have a target market, and everybody is not our target market. I can honestly say that. Typically the parents that I serve are parents like me. They are hard workers. They want the best for their children. They don't have family around, because if they had family, their kids would go with their family. We are not the drop off your baby diapers soiled or what have you, and you ain't bothered to change it before they came. Hello, Marcia. How are you today? So we are not that facility. We are a facility, and our parents are very strong willed. And when I say strong willed, they're gonna fight you over their kid, and they're gonna fight whoever else over their kid. How do I know that? Because that's how I was at that age too. So typically they are rebellious. They did not listen. They do not listen to their parents. Because I was rebellious at that age too, which is why I probably ended up having no, ain't no why. That's why I ended up having kids out of wedlock, not being married. But that's our target market. Like, it is not somebody who trying to find somebody to get a break from their kids, right? They only need you to watch their kids because they got to go to work, right? If they didn't have to go to work, their kids can stay at home with them. They don't mind their kids staying at home with them, because if something happened to their kid, they gonna go upside your head. Which that's how I am as a person. So this center is not um this center is not for everybody. And I get that. Like, I'm willing to go to bat for any of these kids. I'm willing to do anything for any of these kids to make sure that they enjoy themselves and they can say that they had a memorable childhood, they had fun. Even kids who leave our center, they constantly ask their parents when they coming back, when you gonna enroll us back over there? Can we go up there and see her? How's she doing? Like, I want to go see Miss Sam. Those are the comments that parents are saying when they re-enroll. Those are the comments that parents are saying when they come back. I'm not asking people to post on Google, if you like it here or whatever, right? Only people who are miserable and don't have no life got time to sit up and post on Google what they doing. I've never written one Google review, I think. If a Google review out there for me, it's because somebody asked me to write it. I don't write Google reviews, right? The reason why I don't write Google reviews is because I'm gonna tell you to your face what I don't like. If I don't like your business, I'm not gonna come back. Why would I sit up and waste my time and write a Google review and I have a life? Like, if you do something that I don't like, I'm going to ask for the manager, and I'm going to ask the manager to come and listen to my complaint. But why would I then tell everybody else the complaint I had? Like, to me personally, that's not they don't need to know that. They don't need to know my complaint. But then again, that's me and how I think. I know that I've always been like that. If I've had an issue with the business, I always ask for a manager. I always talk to a manager. And it's possible for you as the customer to be wrong. And it's possible for me as the manager to be wrong as well. But most people can't see a situation that way. And especially the clientele I serve, they definitely ain't seeing no situation that way. They want a solution now. And that's just been really difficult, because I know I can't come in and be a hothead with somebody else that's a hothead, right? Because it's just an explosive situation. And I can't have somebody who want to be a hothead in an explosive situation with me, and I am a hothead. Like, I would end up doing something that I will later regret. And so as a result, I have to walk away. I have to step away. But my good mornings, the way I treat a child goes a long way. Why? Because that's who I genuinely am as a person. I want you to have a good day. I want your kid to know, Dad, it's good people out here. It's people out here that'll treat me better than my own family. Because the truth of the matter, it is people out here that will treat you better than your family. There are people out here who'll be there to help you when you need help, that'll be there to give you a smile, to cheer you on, to encourage you. But it's finding those people. And when you find those people, it's not letting them go because of pride. I've seen that as an issue within the center as well. You can be treating someone very, very well, and the parent has so much pride, they forget the whole purpose of why they're at your center is for you to provide care for their child in their absence. They don't allow the decision of my child runs to this person in the morning. I had one kid here every morning that I came through that door, or that kid came to the door, and I opened it. They ran to me. When I say ran, they ran with open arms down the hall to greet me in the morning. Miss Sam, like I couldn't make that up if I tried to. Or when your child calls me ma and I have to correct them and say, I'm not your mom. And if your mom heard that, they would be so hurt. I'm Miss Sam. Okay? Miss Sam love you. I say it just like that. Just like that. I don't change it. I say that consistently with every kid. But those are the things that give you joy. Those are the things that put a smile on your face. It is not the time when the parent just decides to unenroll their kid for no reason. And then I got one parent that unenrolled their kids, I should say, and constantly sends me pictures of the kids. So if you knew I loved your kids, why would you unenroll your kids and put them in a different center? If you knew I took care of your kids, why would you unenroll your kids and put them in another center? And why do you consistently invite me to all of your family functions? You took them out of my center, and by you taking them out of, and I'm not even going to say my center, I'm just going to say you took them out of the center, and by you taking them out of the center, that meant that you weren't happy. That's what I associate with being dissatisfied or not happy enough. But the fact that you keep sending me pictures of your kid means that clearly, one, your kid is talking about me, or two, you feel like you made a bad decision or a bad choice, or that you realize that, wow, you really not only love my kids, but you love me as well as an adult, and you accepted me for who I was. And so, with that just being said, like, I, a good morning goes a long way. How do you get those feelings of contentment and love in a kid and self-confidence? It's through that good morning. It's through saying good morning to a kid. And you say it just like this. Good morning. How are you today? How was your evening? Did you have a good evening? What did you have for dinner? What was for dinner last night? Or have a good weekend on Friday. When it's Friday, you say have a good weekend. All right. See you on Monday. You say it just like that to a kid. That is good. Have a good weekend. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment underneath the video. It's just, I'm going live every day, 6 o'clock. I'm not changing it up. I got a goal to hit. And so I have to be consistent. I have to be consistent. It's so many great things we do here. Um, my background is education. I am considered a 16-year veteran teacher. We've been open for 3 years. I've taught everything from K to 12th grade. My background is completely business, so I am certified in the state of Ohio as a teacher through ODE, Ohio Department of Education, and through Virginia Department of Education. I've taught 16 years. Oh, I taught 13 years at CMSD, Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and 3 years in Alexandria, Virginia. And I was a good teacher. I'm an excellent teacher. I already know I'm an excellent teacher. Like we was winners. I don't even know why they closed my program, quite frankly, because we was winning. When I say we was winning, we was winning. We was winning so good. Let me tell you, the top program, the top culinary program, top hospitality program in our state was telling their kids, if you go up against this school in your category, you're not gonna win. You may come in first, but you may come in second, but you definitely ain't coming in first. We came in, I taught my students, and these were students who did not know how, per statistics and data, as schools like to tell you when they have conversations with adults. These were students who statistics and stats said they can't read, they can't write, the school is failing they came from, but we came in and we regulated. I mean, when I say we regulated. Like we controlled our events. My students were they were successful. We didn't start losing until the year before they closed our program. And I knew they were going to close it because they had threatened to close it the year before and we survived. But I don't understand why you would close a winning program. I don't understand why you would purposely put students who have no interest in being in the program in my program. Why would you put them in another program and they explicitly tell you, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with her. And one of the things is because most people are losers. Most people are losers, and losers like being with losers, and winners like being with winners. And that's the truth. That's the key to life. If everybody you hang with weren't winning and you are a loser, it's only two things that's going to happen. One, either you're going to become a winner, or two, you're going to leave that group because you can't become a winner and you still a loser. That's how life works. In my class, we were all winners. It don't matter if you how big or how small the classroom was. Everybody in my classroom was a winner because they wanted to be around me. They wanted to be with me because I was a teacher that took them all across the country and who secured trophies and awards and everything that we did. And people used to think like I had one teacher I remember when I left and they transferred me, they closed the program. And I never was like a gloater. Like I don't tell people everything that I've done and what I do and what I know how to do. But the one teacher, she finally, because I was like, oh, we go, I would tell her, I said, oh, we going on this trip. And she'd be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. They not paying you to do it. You shouldn't do it. You should make them pay you for your time. But I knew the exposure for the students was greater than any payment that anybody could ever give me. Even now at the center, I know that the exposure we provide students, because we dive deep into our curriculum and what the curriculum entails, oh, that'll transcend everything. I got a student now here at the center, they don't eat vegetables. But what I learned is when I hide a vegetable in something, they'll eat it. We did a herb cream cheese, herb. So it had rosemary, it had dill, and it had, oh my goodness, no, was it cilantro? No. Rosemary, dill. Oh my goodness, what was the other herb? And it was soft and cream cheese, so you had to set the cream cheese out. I got all of them at Trader Joe's, and they were all organic because I try to get as much as organic as possible. And I got the golden rounds from Trader Joe's as well. But it was rosemary, dill. It was a herb. Tag. I can't think of it. Rosemary, dill. And I had them smell it, and I can see it as clear as day. It was a herb. Okay, so I had the kids smell the herbs, right? And I had them taste it by themselves. Oh, chives. That's what it was. It was rosemary, dill, and chives. And it was soft and cream cheese. So you just get a brick of the cream cheese. You let it sit out. I got everything at Trader Joe's. So we got the organic herbs, we got the rounds, and we got the cream cheese, right? The golden rounds, and they were good. And so I let them smell it. I let them taste it by itself. I let them taste each herb by itself. And then I let them cut up the herbs. I pulled all the herbs off and we cut them up. And the kids helped me cut. So they put their hand on top of my hand while I cut down on the knife and they pushed my hand down. And then we put the herbs in a container and then we put the cream cheese inside and then we mix it. Everybody took a turn mixing. And what I saw with this kid was when it was hidden inside the cream cheese and I put it on the round for him to taste it, this kid ate it. He was like, can I have some more? Now, I didn't tell him that a herb was technically like a vegetable, right? I just let them eat it. Why? Because this kid never eats vegetables. And because they never eat vegetables, I'm like, look, we need to fill you up with all of these good old herbs so you can be strong and everything. Now, I didn't say this to him, but this also this kid, Trader Joe's had the carrot cake cream cheese. It was the carrot cake whipped cream cheese, right? And there was real carrots in there. Guess who also bought that? I bought it. And guess who gave it to him on toasted cinnamon bagels? I did. Why? Because I need him to eat his vegetables. This kid got to eat their vegetables. And they liked it because it was hidden inside of the cream cheese. And they didn't know. And so what I'm saying all of this to say is that, you know, children enjoy being around people who are winners. They they clearly enjoy being around someone who is a winner. They enjoy, they know, like, okay, they watch you. Kids watch you at every age. They watch you. They watch what you do. They watch what you say. They mimic what you do. They mimic what you say. My students in high school mimic me. My students here at the center, they mimic me. If I say good morning to them, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna say good morning to the teachers. They're gonna say good morning to their classmates. If I tell them we're all friends and we don't treat our friends that way, guess what they're going to say? They're going to understand, oh, they're not being my friend right now. They don't want to talk to me. I don't like that. Well, and you ask them, well, how does that make you feel? Oh, that makes me feel angry. That makes me feel upset that they don't want to be my friend. Oh, let's call them over here and see why they're not playing with you. Why they're saying they don't want to be my friend. Sometimes the kid will say, I didn't say that. That's my friend. Right? And so you have to reiterate, see, they didn't say that. They didn't want to play with you. Or if they say, I don't want to be their friend anymore because they're not sharing. Oh, you're not sharing the toy. We have to share. We can't just play by ourselves and exclude people. We have to include our friends. So all of that matters. All of this matters. All of this matters. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, you leave a comment, you know? Make sure you start saying good morning. Good morning to people, right? I'm not like I was started talking about earlier. I do know people who say good morning, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, like every day. But eventually you like, you know what? That's just them. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And guess what? Because you're the one that changed, then they don't come around and they don't be as annoying as they were when they was just you was angry and mean and didn't want to say good morning back. Right? Being unpolite. So you just say good morning to somebody. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So I'm gonna leave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a comment. I will be on here at 6 p.m. I don't care what I'm doing, where I'm going. I gotta go. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna drop some more content. I'm gonna start dropping content that relate to the center so you can really see what we're doing. I did stop, but I love my families. I love the children here. I absolutely love my staff. I'm thankful for my staff. I'm thankful for the people who've come and the people who've gone. Thankful. Look, anytime that somebody come in and help me, I'm thankful and appreciative. I can typically know that you're not gonna last long, but I'm still thankful that you chose to spend, some time with us to help me help someone else's child. That's what we're doing here. We're helping a child know that anything that they dream is possible. We're helping children know who like traits to look for in other people that should become their friends. That's what we're doing here. We're teaching children to be confident in who they are, to have excellent comprehension skills, and to stand out in a crowd of people who all want to be the same. We are teaching children how to be independent thinkers and to be confident in their thoughts. You don't have to back your thought out because somebody else doesn't agree with you. You don't have to change your thought because somebody else doesn't agree with you. If your thought is substantiated with facts and you were able to develop your thought because of facts, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter because it's very rare you see somebody tell the truth. So, all right, with that being said, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. And if you subscribe to the channel, thank you so much. I thank you for your support. I thank you for those who keep sticking around, who keep supporting. I greatly appreciate you. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Things are going to change. They're going to change for the good. It always happens that way. I'm appreciative. I'm thankful. So yeah, I this is my third day going live. Make sure you comment and subscribe to this channel because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, that's my little song and dance. All right.